The horror genre is such a natural fit for video games to the point where it's kind of ridiculous. Among other reasons, people love horror because of the excitement and adrenaline that you feel from getting scared. If you hear something in a horror movie or see something in the background, yeah, it's scary as fuck if done right, but you still just get to sit there and watch it unfold, crossing your fingies hoping that the protagonist doesn't But in a video game, if you see a guy with a chainsaw and a bag on his head running towards you, yeah, you can set down your sweaty cunt and just watch it happen. But if the game has done a good job at fully immersing you into the experience, you'll more likely let a couple squeeze rip and say, oh no, I'm scared, and now I have to fight this freaky fuck. Oh bother, what a day it is that I am having. And it's a completely different type of terror. This is the type of shit that interests me, and this is the type of shit that I want to talk about today, right now, online. Also, notice how I titled the video Horror in Video Games and not Horror Video Games, because there's a lot of good examples of video games that probably aren't in the genre that still use horror effectively to make iconic, memorable gamer moments that gamers will be scribing into the Hall of Fame for many years to come, right up there next to Joe Flacco. Also, I'm going to be spoiling random parts of all of these games, so if you care about that, here's the door. Oh, I'm opening the door. Out you go, stupid. Where a lot of games are about constantly leveling up and making you feel more and more powerful, Amnesia is all about doing the exact opposite. It can truly make you feel like a scared idiot with no skills except hide and seek by Imogen Heap that does wonders in the department of making gamers make white underwear turn yellow. Like from P. It's the same thing with viral indie hits like Slender. The game was made quickly and looks like dog shit. Slender Man looks like a fucking thumb person from Spy Kids, which would actually be scarier. Oh, but the gameplay mechanics of not being able to look at him for very long and knowing that he's always following you, that's the part that's scary, the gameplay. You can't hotkey any of the controls in Five Nights at Freddy's. You can only use the mouse to do everything, which means it's way more intense because you're constantly whipping that thing around trying to handle a bunch of shit at once. Like Amnesia, a game called Eternal Darkness on the GameCube has a sanity meter, which means the main character can just go fucking batshit sometimes. And sometimes the game demonstrates that insanity by swapping the controls to different buttons on the GameCube con. And also the game breaks the fuck out of the fourth wall, which is a great segue to the next part of the video. Good job writing the video, Jacob. Thanks, asshole. Few things are as creepy as the sensation of feeling watched. So when the game that you're playing acknowledges the fact that you're interacting with it and kind of has the illusion of being self-aware and sort of reaches out of the TV to wave hello, that shit can be unsettling as f***. As I mentioned a second ago, Eternal Darkness does just this. It will do shit like pretending to turn the volume down on your TV and even fake you out while saving, claiming that you just successfully deleted all of your saved progress. Zooey mama, that's scary. The Metal Gear Solid series has a reputation for breaking the fourth wall and having cheeky little things like Psycho Mantis read your memory card saves and say shit like, I know you've been playing Castlevania. But the creepiest example comes from Metal Gear Solid 2, where the simulation, or whatever you want to call it, begins to unravel, and the Colonel, or whatever you want to call him, begins to say a series of extremely unsettling things, not only to Raiden, but directly to the player as well.
Raiden, turn the game console off right now.
What did you say?
The mission is a failure. Cut the power right now.
What's wrong with you?
Don't worry, it's a game. It's a game just like usual.
You'll ruin your eyes playing so close to the TV.
What are you talking about?
Honestly, though, you have played the game for a long time. Don't you have anything else to do with your time? This is why we chose you. You accepted the fiction we've provided, obeyed our orders, and did everything you were told to. It's taken a lot of time and money, but it was well worth it considering the results. I think that's enough talk.
But my personal favorite fourth wall break comes from one of the Scarecrow encounters in Batman Arkham Asylum. You're just playing the game, doing Batman shit, and then this happens.
I've waited a long time for this, Bats. Let's start the party with a bang.
And this is after Scarecrow had already appeared and fucked with the game a couple times, which was surprising on its own. I think we can agree that these segues are pretty good. Up until a certain point in Arkham Asylum, you're just running around doing action-adventure Batman type shit, and then things start to get a little bit willy crazy. Wait a second, I don't remember these walls falling apart. Wait, when did these bugs move in? Wait, why am I talking to my dead parents in the morgue? Oh, Scarecrow! Oh, ding, 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 ding. It's Scarecrow. Uncharted 1. Simple action game, right? Ambi Jones type adventure romp, right? Wrong! Up until almost the end of the game, Uncharted 1 is a fun, light-hearted action-adventure romp. And then Naughty Dog was like, hey, you guys want to fuck around and make a 14-year-old shit in his only good pair of Wrangler jeans? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Ooh, 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 Naughty Dog. And then the game puts you on this old-ass, Titanic-ass, my heart will go on, Celine Dion-looking-ass, stupid boat with no communication with Sully, no music cues, no nothing, just Drake and his flashlight, and then this happens.
Oh, shit.
In a regular horror game, this wouldn't be especially scary or memorable, but like Batman, it's the defying of expectations that completely rips out the rug from under you. Bloodborne. That was a moment of silence for everything that Bloodborne does right. Now, I know that we all know how I generally feel about Red Dead 2. But Red Dead 2 is actually really good at using horror in some of the side quests and encounters. Most of you who've played the game are probably familiar with the pig farm encounter. If you're not, I'll educate you. Basically, two incestual weirdos invite you into their house to then roofie you and then rob you. And then you wake up in a pit after they've knocked you out, and you can go back to the house and get your revenge and get your money back and do a kickflip. But if you're a curious little cat, before you sit down at the table to then, you know, get knocked out and robbed, you can kind of snoop around the house and inspect shit, basically piecing together that these two fuckwads definitely killed their mom. But one of the most unsettling and chilling things that I've ever seen in a game is if when you wake up in the pit outside and then you go get your revenge, if you don't kill the lady and instead hogtie her and pick her up and take her over to the pit that they put you in, she says this.
No! What are you doing? No! Please, no! Please, I'm sorry. Not here. Mama! I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry.
The game has unique dialogue just for this insanely specific situation that most gamers, myself included, wouldn't have even thought to do, which is so cool and makes me wish that other parts of the game were also cool, cause then I would make a calm. Silent Hill 4 lets you look through a little peephole when you're back at your apartment, and usually you just see this girl walking around with her stuffed bunny in the background. That's fine, whatever, no harm, no foul. See you later, Brogan. But then if you choose to keep peeping through the peephole like a fucking creep, eventually this happens. Oh, anyways, moving on. Oh man, isn't this a fun and light-hearted video? BioShock has a ton of this stuff too. Lots of environmental storytelling and audio tapes that you can listen to give context to whatever. I'm just using BioShock as a segue into the next section about jump scares, which I realize is not my best work when it comes to these segues. Also, did you guys know that the inventor of the Segway died from driving a Segway off a cliff? I'm not making this shit up. One time when I was in LA, I think it was either Eddie or Chris Raygun or someone was telling us about it. Now, I guess it's true that the inventor of the Segway was trying to like demonstrate how good he could stop, like how quickly he could stop. And he just fucking drove the Segway off a cliff. Oh, fuck. Unlike games like Outlast that eventually just kind of make you numb to jump scares because they're just so constant, BioShock does the opposite. So when a jump scare does come, it comes hard. While exploring a creepy dentist's office, after looting some valuable items off a desk in the corner, the room starts to fill with fog.
You're crying!
Oh fuck, Mom, it's the dentist man and he wants to give me a filling. Oh no! Undertale is not a horror game, but sometimes it do be like that though. If you do a run of the game where you decide to just murder everyone, aka a genocide run as it's known by the fan base, the game ends with a specific character doing this. Yeah, he kills you, and after shaking the fuck out of the game window, it shuts itself off. Ooh, fun, again. The first Resident Evil has a classic jump scare that anyone who's played the game...
This brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon. Don't touch that dial now, we're just getting started.
Super Mario 64 has a really dumbass jump scare where a piano randomly tries to eat you. We should probably talk about what just happened, huh? Yeah, PT gets its own section of the video because it is easily, like without a doubt in my mind, the most terrifying piece of media I have ever experienced. Movie, TV show, book, song, podcast, whatever. Nothing even comes close to PT. This shit is actually cursed. Like right now, I'm in my studio. There's obviously no footage playing behind me, but even just imagining that footage and fucking Lisa behind me, dude, I like actually goosebumping. This shit is just the ultimate cocktail of interactive terror. The game fucks with your head by repeating the same hallway over and over, sometimes changing it in minor or major ways. Not to mention the fucking ghost lady Lisa, who is so fucking terrifying that I'm already dreading editing this part of the video. Sorry, Jacob.
Yeah, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, I bet it sucks. It's programmed into the game that at least for part of it, she's literally always following you and can project real-time shadows of herself in front of you among other bullshit. The puzzles that you had to solve in order to beat the game are so obtuse that it basically turned everyone who played the game into an online conspiracy theorist that had to work together to reach insane realizations, like that at one point in the game you have to say a name out loud in real life into your PlayStation microphone, like What the fuck? All of these things created a game that not only felt like it was breaking the fourth wall and reaching out of the TV at you, but it fucking was the fourth wall. Nobody knew what this thing was. It was like the tape from The Ring, and anyone that came in contact with it was just haunted by it, even when the PS4 was turned off. Yeah, try turning PT into a horror book or movie or TV show or podcast. You can't, because it is a horror game 100% through and through. Before I end this video, I just wanted to take a second and let you guys know how much I super appreciate how receptive you've been to all of the different, types of content that I've been working on this year. Whether it's videos about video games, which is obviously what I started doing on this channel, or videos about non-video gaming shit, which I'm just as interested in making, if sometimes more interested, or my music or whatever. I'm just really grateful that you guys have stuck around. 2019 has been a very transitional time for me that has just often felt really weird or just difficult in ways that I wasn't used to. But yeah, I just wanted to say, getting emotional, that I'm just really thankful that you've stuck around through my creative processes and shit. I've been seeing a therapist, and I feel like she's made me she's really great, but has made me way more like open with my emotions, but also means that it's like way easier to quickly like make me cry and shit. But I'm just very grateful that all of you have not only been very patient with my creative processes, but have just been incredibly supportive, whether it's on Instagram or Twitter or email or Patreon or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, it's pretty hard to read and especially reply to everything I see on all these different apps or, email or whatever, but I do see a lot of it, and I do really appreciate it. I don't really ever talk about my music in these videos, I guess because I just try to keep the two worlds separated for some reason, because I was actually a musician before I did YouTube, so I feel this weird like split in my mind, I guess. I don't know. Some of you know that I've been working on an album this year, and not that any of you would know this because I haven't really talked about it. That album actually turned into an EP for a while because there's only like select handful of songs that I actually felt good about, and then it was like, oh, I'll just drop them all as singles, and now it's kind of back towards an album or an EP or whatever. I don't know. My process is super weird, and I'm not good at promises, because also I was like on Jaquan the G-Cool, I'm not going to shave or cut my hair until I release an album, because I thought it'd be out by like May or whatever. And as you can see, I caved and I shaved. I cave shaved. The beard was just really gross. Anyways, I don't know. I just hope that you do enjoy the tunes whenever they do see the light of day in whatever form that they see the light of day. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that. What else? Smash like if you like Joe Flacco, or not, you can still hit like. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see some feet pics. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see some feet tweets. Follow me on Twitch. I actually just got NakeyJakey. I got the actual tag. It's not NakeyJakey Streamer Boy anymore, which was dumb. And so you can follow that for some feet streams. That'll be very inconsistent. And follow your heart. And I'll see you next time. I have to go out into that fucking creepy lobby and go get in my car, and it's like fucking 3:30 a.m.